Hello everyone, we're starting a new series of video tutorials to celebrate the release of version 8. We're kicking things off with a video on routing, where we'll show you guided routing and simplified routing. So, launch Avalon and make sure that simple mode is selected on the home screen. Then, click on Routing. In version 8, we've decided to maximize the map space and replace the sometimes confusing icons with plain text. The key icon is the layer icon. This icon will bring up a side panel where you can choose which objects to display on the map. Check Routing Command to display the commands we'll use to define the route. Then close the side panel to free up more space on the map. The easiest way to start is to use the old magic wand or guided routing. And this function will work a bit like the Waze app when you're driving. So you click on Guided Routing and you're presented with a list of departure and arrival ports. To keep the system simple, the options are obviously very limited. You can set the departure port, the arrival port, the engine speed, the engine activation threshold, a very rough estimate of the cruising time, and the departure date and time. As for the weather models, you can't set them individually, they're selected automatically. You start the calculation, the system will automatically retrieve the necessary weather data, and after about 10 seconds, the route is displayed on the screen. And you can see that Avalon has automatically placed the necessary waypoints to round the tip of Brittany. A quick click on Route Chart will bring up the cruise summary, allowing you to determine at a glance whether you can set sail or not. This chart will show you the distance, departure time, arrival time, minimum distance compared to the optimized route, sailing hours, engine hours, number of sail changes, and more. It will also display the maximum heel, points of sail, sail type, sea state, and a summary of the wind conditions. This chart will also provide your route chart every 10 to 20 minutes, depending on the isochrone time you've set. To view the boat's forecast information, simply redisplay the side panel and click on Boat Info. And at that point on the right, you'll see the forecast wind speed, course over ground, true wind angle, true wind speed, sail type, sail area percentage, and expected heel. Of course, you can overlay the weather onto the boat's route, but we'll see that in more detail in a later video. Now we'll move on to simple routing. The difference with advanced routing is that fewer parameters are accessible. We click on New Route. The system asks me to long press to set the starting point, which I place at the exit of La Rochelle. Then a long press to set the destination. And as soon as the destination is set, the minimum distance line, the blue route, is drawn. It's an approximate route. Avalon asks me if I want to set waypoints automatically. Given this route, waypoints are necessary to round the tip of Brittany. So I accept, and I arrive at the page that determines the parameters just before the actual route calculation. Since we're in simple mode, some of the parameters are fixed. We can only change the departure date and time, and of course, the cruising duration. The time between isochrones is set automatically. The weather models are also set automatically based on the navigation area and the cruising duration. And then we just have to start the calculation. In a few seconds, the route is calculated, and we can immediately check the route table to get a quick idea of the cruise's feasibility. This route is an interesting case because, by comparing the optimized route to the minimum distance route, we see that we save about 6 hours and, more importantly, 34 liters of fuel, in addition to the pleasure of sailing. So, at €2 per liter, we've already saved more than the price of Avalon and almost the cost of an annual weather subscription. If you swipe down on the screen, you'll access the route chart, isochrone point by isochrone. You can analyze the forecast information you'll have on board the boat throughout the crossing. You can also view the weather, but we'll go into more detail about the weather in the next video. In the next video, we'll go over the routing settings in detail, show you an example of full routing, introduce waypoints and navigation exclusion zones, and also show you how to analyze the weather in more detail. To be notified when this video is released, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your attention.